Welcome to TARTLEcast with your hosts Alexander McKegg and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path.
Hello, Jason.
Hello, Alexander McKegg.
What's up?
How are you doing, sir?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? What's happening with you? What's happening with you?
Lots happening with me.
Yeah.
Especially, I use WhatsApp to communicate with some of our employees in different parts of the world because they use that. WhatsApp. So
we can't bring that back to the 2000s.
So WhatsApp is, a lot of people, maybe if you're in the United States, then you may not get the big deal about this, but WhatsApp is hugely important all over the world. It's the largest messenger app out there.
Yeah. If you thought it was anything else, you'd be wrong.
Yeah. So majority of the world has Android-based phones, and they have Facebook on there, and WhatsApp is free, where a lot of the world, you still have to pay for data.
Yeah. If you think people are just using the text message app that comes native with your iPhone or Android,
no,
they're not.
No, they're not. And so WhatsApp just came out with this mandatory share your data with Facebook update.
Oh, boy.
So there's a non-skippable privacy agreement, new one that popped up. And so now there's a lot of heat. And we're going to do an update on this because I know that there's new statements that are coming out. So next week we'll do another update on this. But what was agreed on when WhatsApp was purchased by Facebook is that data would remain private and not be shared with Facebook. And that happened in 2014 when the app was bought by Facebook.
Right.
So Facebook has turned around and said, no, we're collecting data, but we're not using it, for nefarious purposes.
For advertising?
Yeah. So
yeah.
WhatsApp users will no longer be able to opt out of sharing their private data with Facebook, as users have started receiving a pop-up asking them to agree to the new terms of use or lose access to their account.
That is so, it's so binary. It's so polarizing.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the WhatsApp team, like I said, is already, at first they had no comment, and now they're starting to release because this has gained a lot of steam.
Elon Musk comes out, he said, use Signal. We use Signal.
Yeah, we use Signal.
It's a phenomenal encrypted messenger. It's a 501c3 not-for-profit. Everything about it's, frankly, quite amazing.
Yeah, so the Terms of Service and Privacy Policy detailing how WhatsApp is partnering with Facebook to offer deep integrations across all the Facebook-owned products. So that's the whole idea of Facebook, is as they begin to assimilate people into their ecosystem, then we begin to see this alternative, like if you're using WhatsApp, you're using Instagram, you're using Facebook, you're using all these other, their audience network is huge. People don't realize, when you are doing ads on
Facebook's number one.
Yeah. So whenever you look at their ability, and I understand what they're doing, I don't think people mind the ad part of it as much as they mind what's happening to and this is where WhatsApp needs to clarify, what's happening to my messages, what's happening to my videos, what's happening to my pictures.
Yeah. Where is this stuff going? How do you store it? How are you analyzing it? If you're not selling it, what are you doing with it? And if you're not selling that thing specifically, what are you doing from the analysis of all the data I gave you to create a new revenue stream? Why is it now, at this moment, you're choosing to lock things down?
Yeah, and so the mandatory changes are set to take effect on February 8th, 2021. And if users don't accept the new privacy policy before that, they will no longer be able to use the service. Data sharing with Facebook, business on the platform, and other third-party services is one of the multiple changes to the more expansive, updated privacy policy. Among these changes, your data will now be used to show personalized ads under the new data sharing policy. I'm fine with the ad-driven side. I get that. As a marketing person, I understand that. I've created a product. Now I have people spending time on it. If I can show a little ad on the bottom or whatever, I'm all for that.
Well, the thing is, WhatsApp's free to use, right?
Yes.
Well, they've realized that it's probably lacking in revenue.
Right.
And they need to lock in that revenue stream. So they're going to know if someone signs new terms and conditions, it's a guaranteed revenue stream for that, on that person.
Now, if they're using it for ads, that's fine. If they're using it, in my opinion, if they're using it to collect data, like you had mentioned with Skype and Microsoft, where they're transcripting these voice calls and stuff like that, and then turning around and selling that to third parties, now we've got an issue. So I'm pretty sure they're going to clarify. I don't think they want people globally to start coming off the platform.
No, listen, they're not stupid.
No, Facebook's not stupid.
They're not stupid.
I know
And
they've been getting a bad rap with,
Yeah.
him having to go to Congress and sit there. But the people that are working at Facebook are like Google and these others, they have the ability to get the latest and greatest talent.
Do you know the way I think about it? Terms and conditions. If I don't agree to something, it's probably a better route than someone saying, well, I don't know if I agree to it, but I'm going to hit yes anyway to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably prefer, I'm just thinking in our own stance, I would probably prefer the black and white approach. If you don't accept it, you just don't use it. That's it.
Yeah, and
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's
but
probably,
why wouldn't you? So here's a better option.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you put the most controversial 5 big points as bullet points? Have like just real quick bullet points, and then okay. Like,
I agree. Why does the terms and conditions have to be so convoluted?
Because here's the problem. In the previous policy announced in July 2020, WhatsApp granted users 30 days to update their account settings and opt out of sharing their data with Facebook. Mm-hmm. So now the new policy, here it is, January 2021. This happens February
If you're going to
8th.
use it, you're sharing regardless.
Yeah. So, because probably too many people went in there.
Yeah. Here's what I like. I like the terms and conditions in the black and white approach.
Right.
But I do not like the thing where you're forced to share the information. What do you mean? It's your information. Is it not yours?
Yeah. So
Am I forced to share every, text message, blah, 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 blah. I mean, Signal, this other messaging app, operates with never having to look at your stuff, never looking at a log, never looking at a photo, a text, who it's getting text to. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But they still have such a beneficial business of communication.
Yes.
And people value the communication enough to donate to that 501c3 not-for-profit. They don't have to say, here's the terms and conditions, blah, blah, blah. It's black and white. You can't use the system, but if you are using it, we're going to take all your information and read it.
Yes.
I don't care how much you try and anonymize the info. These people, they don't have a damn clue. All they did was create a communication channel. But now WhatsApp is going beyond just communicative messaging.
Yeah, so the new frequently asked questions on WhatsApp's website says this is what will be shared across the Facebook-owned companies. Mm-hmm. So now so that's another clarification. Is it just being shared across Facebook internally, or is it going to third party?
No,
are they reselling that data to third parties? That's what I want to know.
Well, think about this.
We don't know that part.
It's going to Facebook-owned companies. They own Instagram, right?
Right.
So why wouldn't I take my WhatsApp data and move it into Instagram and then help with retargeting ads in Instagram?
Right.
What the heck?
Yes, exactly.
Or within Facebook. And Facebook has different rules. So now that I've okayed the movement of data from one company to the next, well, that other subset is doing its own sort of things with its own liabilities.
And Facebook, I don't understand why you have 3 different messengers. Why wouldn't you just combine them all as one, and then you could use that messenger across any of your platforms?
Yeah, why do you have
so have a
Why?
WhatsApp messenger that works with Facebook Messenger and works with Instagram DM?
Because each one is its own medium and each one has its own liability.
Yes. Yeah, you're correct.
And the reason they're separating is because when you start moving data in between these, and if they're talking about they're able to move the data amongst Facebook companies, well, how does data get treated on Instagram? Instagram's always listening to you.
Yes.
So if Instagram's always listening and you're always typing something in on WhatsApp and sharing a picture, and then you're talking about on Facebook how you're interconnected with everybody and how your behaviors interconnect, think about what that picture looks like of the data created by an individual.
And it really upset me yesterday. A politician just hammered Facebook. And this is going to be, and I know we'll both agree on this, just hammered Facebook, saying that they created Facebook through their groups, Facebook groups, created what happened at the White House.
Okay, that's crap. Do you know what that reminds me of? That they were trying to pass that ruling where, if there's like any sort of bullying or, someone talking smack about someone's reputation publicly, that not only can you sue the person saying it, but you can sue the platform for allowing them to do it. Does that mean we should sue Smith & Wesson?
Right. Oh, some people would agree.
Should we sue Colt for?
Yeah. Or should we sue New York Times?
Yeah. Should we sue New York Times?
Yeah.
It's like, listen.
How far do you want to take that?
Yeah. How far are you going to go with it? You got to hold on for a second here. People are responsible for what they do. The platforms are, if it's a good platform, it's totally agnostic. Anybody can use it. It's free for everyone to use. but it's their choice on how they use it.
But an asshole's an asshole.
Yeah.
It's not going to, if you give asshole free speech, which what we do, especially here in the United States,
Yeah.
they're going to attract other assholes, and then other assholes are going to do asshole things.
Yeah, if you think about it, yes. And listen,
That's that simple.
everybody's got one.
And so if we turn around and start restricting normal people, if there's a spectrum of normal,
If you call it normal. Yeah.
yeah,
whatever normal
because
is.
if we say no more Smith and Wessons or no more Colts, not even for law enforcement or anything, because we have this issue or this issue, and I'm not getting into gun rights or anything. I'm just using that as an example. Or, okay, Fox News or CNN caused this to happen.
Should you just shut down CNN or Fox News?
Yeah, exactly.
This
is a slippery slope that we're getting into.
Yeah, we need to build bridges, not walls.
But it's not Facebook's fault for what happened at the Capitol.
No. Did Facebook move the dude's leg down to D.C. and have him walk up the Capitol building steps?
Yeah.
Or climb a wall? No, the person had to do themselves.
Yeah, we talked earlier about the irrational monkeys, and you had watched that documentary of where
Jane Goodall down in Gombe.
Yeah, where these monkeys are just ripping each other apart and just and they're holding a stick and they're working themselves up emotionally and their teeth are showing and they're just getting all hyped up.
What do you blame, the stick or the monkey?
Yeah. Exactly.
Is it the stick's fault after it clubbed its other chimpanzee friend?
Yeah. So
I already see the meme right now. It's like Facebook's the chimp, right?
Yeah.
And then WhatsApp is the club.
And it's none of that. I'm more concerned about what they're doing with your personal data.
Yeah, I want to know
than anything else.
Why, Jason? Why can't they just tell me?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it such a hidden thing? Tell me what you're doing.
For anyone, any of them.
For all companies, not just, I'm not bashing on Facebook or anybody. It's just like, why can't you just be clear about what you're doing?
Yes.
Is it that big of a deal that you can't tell me?
Yes.
If you're Google and you're sharing information with the NSA, well, let us know that you're piping our stuff through the NSA.
Yeah. And
what's the harm or the foul?
Right.
Just let us know what you're doing, and then let us have the choice to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why this is such like a built up thing. It's so easy to be like, this is how we're operating.
This is how we do it.
You don't have to get into your secret sauce, but just say that we're going to be analyzing this information.
Right.
And it's getting used for these purposes.
Yeah, they put it in their frequently asked questions. Here's what they're saying they're taking. Account information such as phone numbers, service-related information.
What is service-related information?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
What does that mean?
Yeah, and then we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do another episode on this.
I'm going to read their whole terms and conditions.
Transaction data, if users use WhatsApp Pay or purchase products through it. So the transaction data, what they're buying. I get that part.
Okay, so I got someone's buying habits.
Yeah, information on how you interact with others, including businesses when using WhatsApp.
What does that mean, how I interact with others?
I know, yeah. It needs to be
None
more...
of this stuff is clear.
Mobile device information. And
what,
IP
you're
addresses.
taking my, IEMI, MAC, everything, all that other stuff, mobile IPs, my geolocation data.
And then this is the fun part. Listen to this part. Other information we collect are obtained upon notice to you or based on your consent.
Other?
Yeah. What's the other?
Is other, when I look at the universe, 10% of the universe that I see, or everything that I see right here with my eyes that's material, is 10% of the universe. The other 90% I don't see is 90% of the universe.
They're sharing all the black matter.
Jason, why does it have to be so nebulous? And I don't say that because of, how that's a good, metaphor for what's going on in the universe, but like, why? Yeah. Why does it lack so much clarity?
Yeah, and this article says this: Facebook has claimed for years that it protects user privacy, has never planned to change the way it handled data since its inception. And this is what it says on their website. Respect for your privacy is coded into our DNA, and we built WhatsApp around the goal of knowing as little about you as possible. You don't have to give us your name, and we don't ask for your email address. So now this new update.
Are you kidding me? Your IMEI is... If you go to things that ATF, DEA... They have little devices on their cars that read the IMEI and they know exactly who it's registered to through any sort of telecommunications company. Right. Of course you don't need my name. You have every other possible identifier that tells you exactly who I am and where I'm going.
We already have your name on Instagram.
Oh, so thank you for being so respectful for telling me you don't know what my name is. Dude, this is just haunting.
Yeah. But all these data companies are doing the same thing.
Yeah,
It's not, and I don't want us to just sit here and bash WhatsApp.
We're not
This
bashing.
happens to be the how we would like to have a conversation with WhatsApp or Facebook is to say, how can we help you build a bridge with your customers?
Yeah, how can we fix this political and social disparity that is happening?
Mm-hmm.
This soap opera that is currently, happening between device manufacturer and people offering a free service online. There's so much going on. How do we mend this?
Yeah, and it's like, if I'm Facebook, I want people to use my platforms and trust that I'm doing good.
That's the issue. Where's
and I think
the trust?
I think every single one of those employees that are there at Facebook, or at least 90% of them, would agree. And I know they're a publicly traded company and they're trying to make money. There's this whole understanding of saying, how do we do that and still be profitable? And I want people to understand that Tartle.co is that answer.
We are that answer.
Yeah, because you could sit there, Facebook, you could have a conversation with us. We could sit down, have a conversation with your users, and we could find out specifically valuable information that would help you make the decisions that you need to make.
You're going to love this. Keep talking.
And for me, when it, like, what if all of a sudden on Instagram, there was an incentive for someone through the Instagram platform? You log on to Instagram platform and now it's like, how much do you trust Instagram? And then there's multiple questions, and then all of a sudden they receive maybe extra likes, or they receive a bonus for, there's so many different ways you can incentivize somebody through the process. But at Tartle, we could come and implement that process for you. And more than that, and here's what I want you to speak to, Alex, more than that, creating trust creates loyalty.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with that trust thing right here. I'm on the settings page of Tartle, and there's a tab that says privacy, data use, and sharing. And I wanted to make sure this was so abundantly clear, because unless you're educating people, unless you're empowering them, you're not going to be able to gain any trust.
Mm-hmm.
If you're saying things that are nebulous and they lack clarity, what are people supposed to think? It leaves too much up for interpretation.
Yes.
And people can't trust a hunch.
We got to get rid of these vague legal words.
I don't want people to trust. I want them to know for a fact.
Oh, yeah, great. That's
okay?
Great. Yeah.
Because trust is it's
I was thinking of like that emotional belief of trust.
No. And belief just saying that, I want you guys to think we're doing the right thing. No, right. I want to show you we're doing the right thing.
Yes.
Let me read this. It says, it is important to understand that your personal data contained in these data categories and or data packets are uploaded to Tartle servers after a data category and or data packet has been compiled and saved in the application. This allows for anonymous and private exchange of personal data between exchange parties. In absolute, Tartle will never share or sell your personal information to anyone or any third party as such. Anyone or any third party. In order for the Tartle Global Data Exchange to function, your personal data is securely and anonymously stored on our servers in data categories and or data packets until deletion, omission, or otherwise by yourself, Tartle, or request of Tartle from the account holder via email to this address. You are in 100% control. We're telling you exactly how it's going to be stored.
Yeah, and that data is not sold until you choose to sell it.
That's exactly right. Is it that hard for us to be so clear about something? It's not like I'm going to hold a tool and wonder, is it going to disappear? Is it going to do what it said it did?
Right.
It's a damn pickaxe.
Right.
You know exactly what it does. There's very specific laws and functions for the way this thing's designed. I am unsure about what the laws and functions are that are happening in Facebook and their other applications like WhatsApp. Now I'm unclear. Should I take the swinging thing and is the top of it going to fly off? Where's it going to go? I don't know. What's the outcome? I know what the outcome is over here. I know what's going on with Tartle. I have no freaking clue what is happening with WhatsApp or any other company that comes in with that sort of nebulous terms and conditions for me.
Yeah, I don't even like the Signal part of, one thing I don't like is that all of a sudden one of my friends hops on Signal and then Signal sends me a message saying, oh, so-and-so joined Signal. Well, where did you get that data from?
Yeah, so it's a really interesting encrypted algorithm that can match that because your contacts,
Right.
You've already said, I want to allow Signal to access my contacts.
Right.
So in doing so, it's looking at it and it's looking for a match on both sides. It doesn't know anybody, whoever it is. It's just looking for that match between those numbers. So it can say, oh, this person in your phone book matches this.
Because I know after Elon Musk put it on Twitter, which was funny,
Yeah.
I had like 8 people
Sign up with Signal.
sign up with Signal, and it let me know. I just don't like that feature personally.
Well, that's the only branch for, people to be like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, let me text them and say,
Now
hey.
I can actually text them rather than be like, I got to get in contact with this guy first.
Right.
And be like, hey,
Or
you
it would
should
be
use
nice
this.
if it was, if I could upload my contacts and then it would show these people are on Signal or not.
Yeah.
On like another screen, not on that main screen where I have to actually go and delete that person.
Yeah. I agree.
I just think that's just a design issue.
That's a design issue.
So WhatsApp, let's have a conversation.
We'd love to talk to you about it. I personally would love the clarity.
And we love unity and we love building bridges.
Yeah.
So I'm not about, and I know Alex is this way too. Any of these large data companies that want to speak to us, and we could build a bridge and have unity and have an honest conversation, without being political or without being dissident, none of divisive, none of those things we want to have.
We just like truthful things. And
Yes.
it shouldn't be too hard to be truthful about what you're doing with other people's stuff.
Yes, and we would love to have a conversation with anybody at Facebook. It'd be awesome.
Thanks, Facebook, WhatsApp.
Thank you for listening to TARTLEcast with your hosts Alexander McKegg and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path. What's your data worth?